AI is taking over the world. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you why that's not a bad thing. So welcome to the Something New Show. I'm Mindi Linscombe, your host, and here's what I want to talk about today. People have been just swarming my offices and my conversations about AI, and I have to tell you, it is actually making my life better for the moment. And I'm going to show you how I'm using it in both my personal life and my professional life today. So if you've been hesitant to jump on the bandwagon, I would say, you better jump on before it's too late. You're going to be behind if you don't learn how to use just some basic skills right away, like I said, for your personal or your professional life. So today we're going to actually specifically jump into talking about ChatGPT. And I recently did a whole course on this with my coaching clients, but I'm just going to give you high level today how my friends can be using chat to enhance your life. And don't be scared of it because it can actually be really fun. Sometimes people even name their chat buddy, even though I know it's not a real person, it's a robot, but it can become something really fun. So I just want to give you a history. This has not been out for super long. It was first launched in 2018, and then they've made different versions and advancements to it. So now we're on ChatGPT 4, and the latest on that was 2023. And I just want you to know what's kind of interesting is it's similar to a search engine. However, it is updated by the most up-to-date information every new version. So it's not like Google where it's live updating every day like a spider web of SEO content. ChatGPT is almost like a library, really smart library, and it's updated in every new version. It uses all the latest data to keep it updated. So just keep that in mind. I would like to tell you how I'm using it personally first, and then I'll go into professional. So personally, I have been so excited because it has made some of my life simpler. And here's how. For example, meal planning is number one. Meal planning. Okay. You guys probably have people in your household that eat differently and have different types of preferences when it comes to gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever it is. So you can put that all in. I've even put in ages of the people, like let's say I have grandparents visiting for a week or whatever it might be. And I will say, this is what our life looks like this week. Here's our dietary preferences. Here's how many meals we need. Can you please create a meal plan for me? And then I would love for you to give me a grocery list. And you know what's so cool about the grocery list? My husband pretty much freaked out, is it categorizes it by the departments in the grocery store. So when you walk into the grocery store, you will go through your grocery list in the order of the grocery store, which is so proficient. I loved it. So meal planning, number 2, which I am going to get to the best performing prompts here at the end. So stick around because I'm going to go to prompts inside of ChatGPT. Again, it's like a search engine, but it's more of a library. Second thing is I use it for fitness and wellness. So if you can imagine, there are some days that I'm like, hey, I need to create a workout plan. Here's my age, my weight, my fitness goals. Could you give me a strategy on what I should do in the gym to work out to reach my goals? And it got the skill set of almost like a dietitian, a personal trainer. Again, nobody can really replace a human, but if you are on a budget, this is a great way to utilize some free resources to help you get healthier. So for example, my son, who's a teenager, wanted a personal trainer, but he can't afford a personal trainer. So what I told him was, I said, what are your goals? So he put in his weight, his football position, his age, his height, what his goals were in his football role. And then it gave him a whole weightlifting training plan for off season. So I felt really grateful because I'm not going to pay for it and he can't afford to pay for it. So, this is a really brilliant way to use AI. Next, I use it personally for scheduling. So we will put in a lot of our schedules and ask it to optimize our week so that we are best utilizing our time management skills. And it is fascinating to see how creative it can be with a large family or even if it's just 2 of you. how to really optimize your week. When's the best time based on some of your maybe preferred awake time or high productive times. You can put all of that in, say, hey, here's my problem. Can you please solve it? And it'll pump out a schedule for you. So it's pretty amazing. Another way to use it personally is vacation planning. It used to be that I'd go to Google to search, top 10, whatever. Now I go to ChatGPT and I say, hey, our family is looking to spend about this much, let's say a dollar amount. Our goal is to have an easy flight from Denver, a direct flight in the same, 2-hour window of time zone. So we're not going across the world. We like to be by water. And this is the kind of experiences we would like to have. Could you please plan a vacation for me? And it'll literally give you like 5 locations. You pick a location, then you keep talking to it. You say, hey, well, I liked this location best. Could you plan a 7-day with this budget? And it will do the entire itinerary for you, as well as make recommendations on maybe hacks for saving money on flights, restaurants, whatever it may be. It's a super smart resource for planning your trips. Next, personally one, I use it for just any sort of creative problem solving. So let's just say I am trying to think of a really thoughtful gift for someone. I will put the person, the occasion, what they're celebrating, and I would like to bring a unique, thoughtful gift. Can you give me some suggestions? The ideas it comes up with for a thoughtful gift, amazing. So if you're ever stuck on something, brainstorm with ChatGPT. It's like a conversation. The last and final one I want to talk about for personal is major purchases. This is a really fun one to talk about because I thought, why not try ChatGPT? And just to back up a little bit, again, you're just going to go to chatgpt.com. You're going to enter in your questions and just talk to it like a person. So we had one of our vehicles break down, and it had been continually breaking down over the last 10 years. So, we keep repairing it. It's paid off, so we didn't want to get rid of it. But turns out we just are done putting money into it because we've spent, like I said, more than the car is worth in repairs. So we said, we're going to stop and we're going to get a new car. Maybe not new, but new to us. So used new car to us. So we put in ChatGPT all of the things we liked about this car and why we bought it in the first place, and all the things that's wrong with it now, and our budget. What kind of car would it recommend us buying today? So guess what I did? I literally took that recommendation of the exact year, make, and model of a vehicle, and I put it into a search for a purchase car online, and it came up with a listing that matched exactly what I was looking for. I called the car dealership and bought it. It was so fast, so simple, and so streamlined, but I didn't have to wonder if I was making a good decision because someone like AI used research and data to take what I loved and convert it into 12 years later in my life. What would I match with today? So I just think there's more that I'm not even going into today. There's so much you can converse with it about to save time and money, to make sure that you're getting kind of your goals accomplished every single week. I feel like I got an assistant, really, is how it feels. Okay, I'm going to jump over to professional because I think I actually use it more professionally than personally. And I want to start by just talking about the word prompt. Okay, so anytime you put something into ChatGPT, it's called a prompt. So you're basically asking it a question or giving it a command, and we're prompting it to give us a result. So there's some prompts out there that will help you get to the result you want even better if you do a good job. So I want to encourage you to use the prompts effectively, and you'll get better ideation at the end. So here's some prompts that I want to just get your brain rolling in before I tell you how I use it professionally. Okay. So I'll ask it to become an expert in something. So pretend you are an expert in, let's just say, HR, or pretend you are a marketing expert because we're about to do a content calendar, or pretend you are an expert in, let's see here, a strategy for profitability, whatever it might be. Ask and prompt them to jump into it, being an expert. That will help you to get better results. The other thing I'm going to say is I give step-by-step instructions of what I'm asking for, instead of just like, hey, I'm working on this template. I'm actually going to tell ChatGPT, I'm going to tell them the whole backstory. For example, recently I wrote a press release with AI, and how I did it was I set it up well. I said, hey, this is who I am. This is what the company is. This is what we're telling the story about. And here's the date, time, and place of all the events you should know and why this is so special. And I just did it like a conversation. There was no professional outline or perfect grammar. I just gave him everything as if we were having a one-to-one conversation. And then I said, could you please write a press release to my local news station to announce this amazing information? And it came up with a beautiful press release that I literally did not have to edit. And then I followed it up with, who should I send the press release to in my area? I live in this city and here's my zip code. And it gave me a list of all the different email addresses for the different news stations in my area to email the press release to. So it's just incredible how fast it can convert to making your goals happen if you just prompt correctly, if you ask correctly on the front end. Some other tips I have for prompting correctly is getting it to know you and your voice. So oftentimes some of the best people using AI today will do like a 50 question interview with AI. And it'll be kind of funny because they'll say, I think you should know everything about me so that you can understand my brand voice. And I want to save this profile. So this is a paid account now. If you have to save your profile, I want to save this profile so that you can remember me when you make all future materials for me or my business. So some things that you might want to say to it if you're getting it to memorize you and get to know you as a brand is you're going to say, hey, this is my company's mission. This is my company's values. This is my target audience, my ideal avatar as a client. Here are the values and emotions that my brand emphasizes and embodies. Here's what sets us apart from competitors. Here's the tone that we use when we speak. We like to be warm, celebratory, professional, casual, whatever it might be. You need to really give it, like I said, it could be as much as 50 to 100 questions describing you. I'll even tell it how old I am, how many kids I have, how long I've been in business, the kind of vibe I want to portray when I do communicate with clients. And so it really has a better baseline for creating content for me. And then let's just hop over to how I use it now. So I've taught you how to prompt, but how I use it is I've used it for marketing materials. So for my coaching business, my right hand and I, we basically put in our goals for 30 days. We said, hey, here's our traffic goal. Here's our engagement goal. Here's the things we want to talk about over the next 30 days. Could you help us create a content calendar? So it created a content calendar of what we should post every day based on strategy and their research. And then we asked Chat, we said, hey, so this is a great content calendar. What pictures or videos would you overlay with it? And then it gave recommendations, and we have those in a file. So we attach that. What captions would you put with these pictures? It created captions. Again, we had to maybe mess with it a little bit to critique it, but it knows my brand voice. And then here's where it got really fun. We said, what emails would you send to associate with these posts for the next 30 days as we lead up to a launch? So then we created 30 emails, but it was perfectly curated for our brand voice because it had studied us. And then we said, what subject lines in the emails would be more openable if you were to attach a header subject line to each of these emails? And then it gave us 30 headline subject email headers. So anything you're working on, I just want to say, anything you're working on as a team, what is so important is for you to say, okay, what are the things that like we as people can do just because we're real life humans? And there are many things that only we can do that chat and AI cannot do. But then if you can look at your list and say, there's a couple things on here that I can push over here to ChatGPT and streamline and save hours of my life, it's amazing to push them over, make things go a little bit faster, and then hop back over into what only you can do and save your time. So I'm I'm loving this. I'm encouraging my team to use ChatGPT. I'm finding ways to just elevate its voice so that it continuously sounds like us. For example, here's another way you can have it study your voice. You can take all of your Google reviews from your company and how you have responded to them over the last year, and take all of that content and copy and paste it into ChatGPT and say, learn my voice and how I respond to Google reviews. It's going to study you and learn your behaviors. And then you can now say, okay, here's my next review. How would you reply? And it's been really fun to see how they'd reply, to see if it's on brand or not. And again, it takes some time to kind of train your bot on chat. But once you train it, it can really streamline and be cost effective so that all of your people are using their skill sets on where it matters most. And there is plenty to do in real human form. So I'm just saying, how cool is it that we can get a nice little assistant over here for free, unless you do the paid account, which is minimal. But don't be scared of where AI is taking us, because yes, it has the potential to be very bad, but if you're using it with ethics and you're using it for good, I think it's important to jump on the bandwagon now and not be left behind. I am already, as a mom, teaching my kids about AI. It's in their future. It's going to be a part of their life. And if I don't teach them about it, they're going to be blindsided one day and think, oh my goodness, how is everybody so far ahead? So while my kids are all 14 and under, they're still getting some exposure to how to ethically use this amazing algorithm that we have access to for free at chatgpt.com. Again, that's just one platform out of, there are many hundreds of options to really utilize save time things. But I'll tell you, I read recently that Facebook is dumping billions of dollars into AI in the next 3 years. So if we're going to stay with the times, we're going to understand it, not be scared of it, just jump in and see how it can work for you and your family. All right, you guys, if you have a way to use AI and you love using it too, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear other ideas that I didn't share, how you're using it and making it work for your business or your family. And you can subscribe below, share this with your friends, because we're always looking to help your life get better and easier, because we want you to live a life worth celebrating. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time on the Something New Show. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show, rate, review, and share with a friend. Also, follow The Something New Show on Instagram and Facebook. If you want a fuller experience, watch the show on YouTube to help you create a life worth celebrating.